Hello, Mississippi, and welcome to another edition of The Issues, where we deal with the pertinent and relevant facts and leave no stone unturned. I'm Bishop Ronnie Crudup. Welcome once again to this program. Really do appreciate each one of you and watching and tuning us in. We've got a great program in store for you today. I know you're going to be touched by what this conversation is going to entail. I also want to express my appreciation for all of those folks who've been greeting me. A lot of folks know that I've been out of the country for the last couple of weeks. I was actually led a delegation of folks to Israel, and so it was a fabulous trip. Had about 29 people in our group, and for most of those folks, they came back saying that was the best trip they've ever had in their life. And so just excited that everybody's excited. And hopefully in the future we can do that again and take a whole lot more people with us. And by the way, it wasn't dangerous either, okay? Nobody was shooting on the corner, no terrorists, all of those kind of things like that. It was an absolutely awesome trip to Israel, and got an opportunity not only to see all the Holy Land sites, but be involved too in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, talking to people on both sides, educating people. So wonderful time. Well, listen, I'm excited because anytime I can have our sheriff of Hinds County, the Honorable Tyrone Lewis, with us again, then I'm excited. Sheriff Lewis, welcome back to The Issues.
I'm excited to be back. Just 30 days ago I was here.
Yeah, maybe it was something like that. I tell you, this 2 weeks has kind of got me off. I still got a little jet lag here, Sheriff, and it seems like it's been a long time ago. You get out of the routine, but what, about 63 days in office now, something like that?
Today makes 63.
63 days, wow.
We're charging forward.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of work, a lot of changes yet going. You're really still just kind of putting your stamp on the sheriff's office.
Yeah, the excitement is still there, Bishop, and we are making some positive changes that we talked about we were going to make during the campaign trail, and we're taking them one day at a time, and we're moving in that direction to do the things that we committed to do to better serve this community, to bring safety to the citizens of Hinds County.
Wonderful, wonderful, and we're excited to have you back here. But you're here really not as much to talk about just simply the things that you do in the Sheriff Department, but you brought a guest with you, and we're very excited to have him with us. We're glad to have Mr. Surinder Singh, who is with us. Mr. Singh, welcome to The Issues.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you here, and we're going to have a conversation in terms of the Indian community here in this community, because there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of things that people don't know, a lot of things people say, and we're going to talk about all those kind of things in this program. And so I think that the viewing audience is not only going to be educated, but they're going to be fascinated by our conversation. And so for our viewers, I think that there's a lot in store for every one of you as we go. Now, Sheriff, let me come back to you before we have to take our first break in this, because I want to express my appreciation because you brought Mr. Singh in. In fact, you came to me and you talked about this. And for you, this is a part of your agenda, with the change and the difference you want to make in this community.
That's correct, Bishop. One of the things we talked about, building relationships and partnerships inside of Hinds County. And that's going to do with everybody having a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those things we're starting to do in our platform, was to bring everybody to the table. And we started this a long time ago. In order for this county to do better when it comes to a tax-based economic development, everybody needs to be represented. And this is one of those things that we're doing today, is meeting with the Indian community, who brings a lot to the table when it comes to economic development and tax-based. And in order for us to survive, we got to have them.
Okay. Well, I guess it gets back to this. You said that you weren't going to be the sheriff just for black folks or just for white folks, but I guess too for Indian folk, you're going to be the sheriff for everybody. That's
right. Our assessment showed that this county is very, very diverse. And it exists more than just black and white.
Okay.
And we made a commitment that we're going to have everybody represented in this community. And that means Indians and whites and blacks and all.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to come back with Mr. Singh, and we're going to jump into this and deal with some of these issues then. Hey, viewers, stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I've got with me our sheriff, the Honorable Tyrone Lewis, with me, and I've got with me also Mr. Surinder Singh, who is here from the Indian community. And as we start into this discussion, Sheriff, you told me something interesting about the Indian community here. What was that point?
Well, we found out when we tried to bring partnerships and form relationships inside the county that there were two different communities in the Indian community. You have your Singhs and your Patels, and they both represent different origins or different communities. And that's what we was able to find out when we started making an assessment in order to bring and forge these relationships and build relationships.
You know, and for both of you, Mr. Singh and Sheriff, I think one of the things that we're guilty of too, and sometimes, particularly as black folk, you know, we tend to think that we're not racist, but the truth, sometimes we stereotype people, and we do the very things we always hated that was done to us, and we look at the Indian community, and we look at them and think they're monolithic, that it's just one group, one big group, and everybody feels the same thing, you know, thinks the same way. And what you're saying is absolutely not so.
That's right.
And so that when people see the name Singh or people see the name Patel, understand that that's two different communities. Let me start with a question here first, because we're talking about the stereotypical things here. Mr. Singh, how does your community like to be referred to? You know, I mean, the African-American community, that's a big thing, that we want to name ourselves. We don't want other folks to put a name on us. So how does your community like to be referred to?
First of all, let me thank you to bring this program to the public, because just by looking at me with the turban and all that, it was mixed up with the other people. Mm-hmm. And after 9/11, I participated with the city council. I went to city council and explained them that even though we wear turban, we have beard, we are not Muslim,
right,
and we are not associated with other people from the other country.
So you're not associated with people from Iran, Iraq, even Pakistan. Even Pakistan in terms of that. So
Pakistan and India was one country in 1947 when it divided. The Sikhs are, Singh is a religious name.
okay,
In our religion, all male will be Singh, all female will be Kaur, K-A-U-R.
wow. Oh, and let me stop, because that's an interesting point. First, and this is interesting because you wear the turban, you are a Sikh.
Sikhs.
Okay? And for our viewers out there, and so when you see basically a lot of folks that wear the turban here in this country, a lot of them would be Sikhs. They're not Muslims, because you're right. Once again, we look at them and just think automatically you're Muslim. No, but you're from the Sikh religion.
Sikh.
And so all the men in the Sikh religion would have the name Singh.
All the names Singh. And though the turban is, some people, they are modernized, they're clean shaven, they don't wear turban, but they're still Sikhs.
Okay.
But when you baptize, then you have to wear turban.
I understand. Okay, so it's a religious thing, the hair, dress, which is the turban, also the beard, okay, and the mustache. That's all a part of the religion.
Everything God-given is part of the body.
Because I noticed some of the young men in your community, they don't necessarily, they're more clean-shaven and they don't wear the turban. Some of the younger guys.
You know, as long as they are not baptized, you know, it's okay. But once they're baptized, they have to follow the law.
Okay. And so baptism in your community, as it would be the Christian community, it sounds like even more, really means something.
That's correct.
Okay, and a person then has to follow those rules as a part of the law that is within your community. And so Singh would be the name of the men, and Kaur
Will be the female.
Would be the female's name. Okay, wow. And so once again, gets back to this other distinction, Sheriff, the Patels, once again, are a whole different group, and they're not Sikhs, correct?
They're
Are they
not
Sikhs?
Sikhs.
Okay, they're not Sikhs, right. And so typically they're Hindus.
They're Hindus.
Okay,
exactly.
So that's one of the differences here, is that they would be Hindus. Do they wear a turban too? Most of them don't. So if you see somebody here in Jackson or Hinds County that wears a turban, whether it's blue like yours or white,
it doesn't matter. It's color.
they're going to be a Sikh.
Mostly they will be Sikhs.
They'll be a Sikh. Okay. Not totally 100% of the time, but most of the time, if it's here as a part of that. Wow, so that's fascinating.
Educational moment.
It is an educational moment.
And that's one of the things we're trying to do, Bishop, is we had to start educating our people more, as well as unifying more.
Okay. But before I go to this break, because they're telling me I'm going to have to go to a break, how do you like to be referred? Do y'all like to be called Indians, or how do you like to be referred?
Indian Americans.
Okay, so Indian Americans, because most of your community also would be from India.
That's right.
Okay.
Most of them from India.
Okay.
And some of them, they are living here for 30, 40 years. And of course, they are American.
The American citizens. Now.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As a part of that, so Indian Americans then.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Boy, that's that's good as a part of that. Now, of course, most folks know too that as a part of you here because I mean your community is real involved in business as well, and that's how most people know you, because you're in business and typically you're in the convenience store business.
We are all kind of people. There are some in business, some they are professional, they are doctors.
Okay.
They sing doctors,
Okay.
dentists, doctors, and all kind of business people.
Okay. Well, see, I almost did one of those stereotypical things myself, even by saying that, to think that everybody's in the convenience store business. Listen, we got to go to a break, but this is a fascinating conversation, so stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I've got Sheriff Tyrone Lewis with us, and we've also got Mr. Surinder Singh with us, who is here representing the Indian community. And we're having a fascinating conversation, just really trying to get to know these folks better, okay? Because a lot of times we've got these myths and stereotypical views of people that honestly separates us. And I know that's your thought, is how do we really bring this community together? I was asking, Mr. Singh asked a question off of while we were on the break, and the sheriff can weigh in on this too. And I asked him, did he know of any Sikh in the United States or in Canada that had been involved, as he knew of, in any terrorism incident? You know, because that's kind of our fear.
Right.
And he said no. As he knows that there's never been, that they know of, in terms of anybody that has done something like this. Because that's, after 9/11, that kind of became the thing. And I know that your community suffered a lot of persecution.
A lot of.
As a part of that.
Yeah, after 9/11, it put people in a panic mode, in particular law enforcement. That's why I thought it was best that we started educating ourselves and bring them to the table, not only them but everybody to the table. And in my research and investigations, I have not been able to find anything where their community has been involved in any terrorism.
And that's big, because once again, just by that very fact, and they're Sikhs, they're not Hindus,
right.
Okay? And we'll talk to the Patels another time as a part of this, but once again, no terrorism that's involved in that, and so that's huge. That's huge. That's here. And as you said, too, a lot of your folks have been here for 30, 40 years. They immigrated to the United States to have a better life, just like everybody else did.
That's right. It's opportunity and land of opportunity. So if you want to work hard, you'll get reward. And even though when you're doing rightly, it's tough, and it's here tough also. And but with the community, when we work together and we treat the people the way we want to be treated, and people, they do understand. Mm-hmm. And 100%, we are not 100% right, and the people we're dealing with, they are not 100% wrong. There will be always elements, they will try to put it down stuff. And that's what we're trying to do with the help of Tyrone Lewis, our sheriff, they bring everything out to the public so they know what's going on.
Very good, very good. Let me ask you something, because this is one of those questions. Your stores typically, particularly, even though once again they're professional folks who are doctors, lawyers, but we also know you because of convenience stores. Your stores typically are in African American communities as opposed to white communities. Why is that so?
It is not because of the community, it's because where the need is.
Okay.
Because African American, if you go into their vicinities, you don't see any big stores. You don't see mama papa stores there. And all those stores, they were there before. Once the African American, they start moving in, they walk out.
Yeah, so those all the business folks left then.
And now if you look into Jackson, we have about 90 stores. And consider those 90 stores, if Indian community is not there, at least 60 stores will be run-down properties by now. So that's what we're trying to do, that, maybe we don't show off too much that we're giving back, but just to putting those 90 properties on tax base, I think that is a big given for the community.
Sure. And that was a good point that I've always tried to make with them, because I tried to understand this as well. And looking at it from a law enforcement perspective as well as an economic perspective, they've taken stores that have been abandoned. For law enforcement, if they had not moved into them, they would have become eyesores and a haven for crime, which is a problem for law enforcement and that community as well. On the other hand, they brought back a tax base that ordinarily would not have been there, and made it convenient for people in that neighborhood to have accessibility to things that were not in that neighborhood, like your chain stores of a Walmart or a Kroger.
Right. And I think this is good points, because what you're saying here is that you didn't just see some black folks out there and targeted black folks. You saw need.
Need, yes.
Okay, and an opportunity to make some money.
Of course, we all here to do we're making a living by doing service to the community.
Right.
And there are folks, they are not in that shape that they can go to the grocery store and pick up, case of beer or something, or, the whole case of something.
Right.
So they come in, it's like, routine.
Okay.
So we serve them. Of course, we make, little money off it, so we make a living off it.
Well, if you don't make a profit, you can't stay in business. So I don't have a problem with anybody making a profit, as a part of that. I think, once again, it gets back to people understanding and wanting to know this, because so often we think of, well, they're targeting us. Well, the truth is there's a need that is there. There's an opportunity because properties are available to be able to do this, and this is what you're saying. And you were making the point, Sheriff, that in the African American community, I guess we should be a little bit more appreciative, because those probably would have been blighted buildings, havens for crime, tax base. These folks are paying taxes.
Right. And there was another misconception that's in their community as well, that they don't pay taxes. They're giving money to move into these neighborhoods or these stores, and they're not paying taxes. But he can clear that up for you as well.
Okay, so they're good tax-paying citizens just like everybody else as a part of that. They tell me we got to go to a break. Viewers, stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I've got Sheriff Lewis with us and Mr. Surinder Singh with us, and we've been having a conversation. One of the misnomers in the community is that these folks don't pay any taxes, and that in some kind of way they got a grant from the U.S. government to come here and start a business.
That's the biggest misconception that I've heard, which made me want to dig more deeply into their customs and how they are migrated into this community. And that was one of the biggest things that I heard, and got Mr. Singh here to clear it up.
Okay. Do you pay taxes, your stores?
Yes, we pay tax more so. We pay more than anybody else.
Okay.
Everything we sell in our store, we pay 7% tax, which
Okay.
we collect from the public. We're paying for that. And on the gas itself, we are paying even more tax than anybody else.
So why do you think you're paying more taxes than anybody else in terms
Because there's when people see the rise in the price in the gas, they think that maybe the store people making money.
Right.
And actually, the reality is the store people are not making any money. The big companies,
They're
yes,
passing it on to you, really.
they
they're
are
the ones-
making all the money.
Okay.
And then they put store people out in public to facing those problems.
Well, that's no doubt. I think, come on, everybody's upset about gas and the price of gas. And I think what gets people upset is that one day the gas is one price, and then it seems like late on that afternoon or the next morning it's changed. and people would look at it and say, that gas is already in the ground down there. Why in the world did you go up on it?
Well, that's true. But at the same token, we get the gas one night, and next morning, the gas go down 10 cents.
Okay. Okay.
So it has to be leveled out.
All right.
And sometimes, yes, there's a penny above, a penny less.
Okay.
But you see in the market, 10 cents up, 5 cents down. And in public, nobody say anything for at least 10 days. When prices keep going, nobody say one word.
Right.
When their pockets are full, then they say one word, they bring it down 2 cents down. Yeah, public keep quiet, no, gas prices not going down. That's not true. This,
And what you're saying is that you're not making that decision. The people above you who sell the gas actually to you
Yes.
and to your stores are the people that are doing this. Once again, you play. The whole question was you pay taxes, okay? And did the U.S. government give you a grant
Not
to
a
come here and
penny.
get in business?
Not a penny. And now we were talking about in the city of Jackson, I was always asking that, where are the grants? And this is the first time I heard that there were some grants available.
Right.
And I didn't let people know that there are some grants available so we can use them.
Yeah, and that grant pretty much is a facade grant
Yes,
to
facade
actually
grant. Otherwise,
work on,
nothing
right, but nothing that puts you in business. Because I think there are a lot of folks out there who think that the Indian community, that you came to this country and the government gave you money that it wouldn't give to African Americans. That's typically the way that is positioned in terms of, and you said, no, that didn't happen.
That's not true. And also I have that example that, I hear all the time. And I have good friends. They are young people, they approached to me, they said, how you can come in and have a business?
Wow, wow.
And
I want you to hold that point there just for a quick moment, because I want to say something to our viewers. This conversation is so important and clear. We're going to do a part 2 of this because we hadn't even got into talking about crime yet, and we got to talk about crime and glass, bulletproof glass in stores, all of these kind of things. And so we're going to do a part 2 of that. So I just want to give our viewers notice, because this is so fascinating that we are going to do a part 2 as a part of this. So we're going to probably have to wrap this down. Let me, for the sake of our viewers, Mr. Singh is a Singh, okay?
Right.
And that's a part of their religious view. He is a Sikh, okay? And that's why they wear the turbans, because he's been baptized as a part of that. And they're not monolithic, okay? And so, boy, if nothing else, we've learned all of that. That's about the end we got to do today. But we're going to have a part 2 of this. Viewers, until the next time, stay with us. Count it all joy.